let's start with our first category of control and automation. Okay?
Go for it.
All right, let's start there. So that'll be a fun way to start this morning. A little bit of basic, and I do call this some basic blocking and tackling, right? This is stuff that people in this room should be familiar with, right, as we think about different parts of the smart home. So, there's a couple things here that I thought it was good just to remind us and point out as we think about the smart home, right? And I think the ultimate goal as we think about what does it mean to have a control or automation platform is really for simple control of multiple subsystems. I think that's the best way for us to think about it, because there are going to be multiple subsystems throughout these properties. As you look at your construction profile, Chris talks about some different applications. These are, did you call it a building, right? Building. Not a home, right? As we look at these massive things, we're looking at how do we take and make sure that all those different subsystems play nicely and really have a unified experience.
Yeah.
Because
can you go back for a second? Because this reminds me of like sales fundamentals, right? It's like, oh yeah, you close the next step, but whatever. We all know what they are, and we all forget about them, and then you got to go back to it. But it's important. This isn't like cutting edge. This is the fundamentals, but sometimes we forget about it, right? That this is how the magic is actually constructed. So I think it's a useful list. For you all, when you're talking to integrator partners and they say, well, we're going to automate it, well, what are you doing with schedules and scenes? What are you doing with, if you start asking them and quizzing them on that, you're going to understand whether there's really a good attention to the fundamentals of automation and that they're actually going to be able to deliver good experiences. So,
it'd be interesting to know.
Seems like old hat to you, but it's just like something to keep refreshing.
John, it would be interesting to know from the builders in the room who is driving that conversation with what scenes are what. Is it you, the builder? Is it your integrator? Do you have an interior designer? But how does that conversation take place? Because if it's, it has to take place soon so that I'm going to control Nicole's bedroom and here's the scene for it and all the lights are going to go off and on. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but at Blue Heron we have fully designed build. So we were having that conversation early from the client. What do you want to control? How do you want to control it? And what do you want it to look like? And that happens really early in our process.
Right. So yeah, there's the selling people on the idea of doing home automation, right? And the early phase stuff that we talked about yesterday, but this is deeper into the process, right? This is as we get closer to, you're going to live in the house. All right, how is this stuff actually going to function? What are the specific scripts? So it ain't easy. It's kind of rocket science-y, and you need somebody who knows what they're doing here, right?
Yeah, and I think, the goal is to make it easy for the end user, and so there's a lot of thought that goes into that. And, as you're looking at the section we're in today, where we're looking at that luxury experience, right? We're competing with a ton of individual apps that are out in the space, right? And so there's all kinds of consumer experiences for a security system, for a lighting platform, to take a look at your door entry, to do all these different kinds of things, right? But what we're trying to do is take that and bring it all together into a single experience, making that easier for the user to experience.
So this is another theme that we heard this yesterday. We heard it at the keynote. We heard it at our first session, a single app. And it's another thing that, the promotional hype of everybody having their own app has driven a lot of folks saying, well, you don't need one app. But really, for the luxury experience, if it's not integrated into a single app, we aren't really delivering a luxury automation experience, right? Okay.
Yeah, and I think, Chris, you've got some room shots here that show how much technology is inside a single room in a single area, that it really is being controlled on the daily here.
That's right. This is a shot from Aura House, which is in La Jolla, California. We did 2 projects out there. This one is right on the water in La Jolla area. And in this single photo, you've got a register above the TV. I don't know if you can see that linear register. There is the TV. There's the fireplace. There's big giant pocket doors that disappear. There's some lighting in here. All of those things are controlled with a single app and the single handheld, or there's an iPad. What you don't see is where those wall-mounted fixtures are, or like where the panel or the screen is that you're used to seeing. There's not an iPad on the coffee table. It's either in your pocket or it's hidden away. But you can control this entire room with that single app, and it's endless in all the things that this can control.
And is it macros in this? I mean, do you have like certain set of triggered
That's
things?
right.
Yeah.
Doors, lighting, windows. We have windows that operate too, doors and windows, fire features, audiovisual. You know, that's probably the main thing. Everybody remembers the days of the cable guy coming over, right? Cable guy, hey, can you hook up my stereo system? And can you hook up my TVs? Now it's everything, and it's not really the cable guy anymore. He doesn't have the capacity to do all the things that we're automating. So this is another shot. Same room, just a different view towards the kitchen. And again, things automated here. The appliances all logged in and controllable via the single app. This house doesn't have the Brone, but the hood is in this picture, and you know, that's something that Blue Heron's really looking to do, is start to do these air exchanges and the clean air energy. We're in Southern Nevada, we're getting all this influx of Californians, and they're bringing their smog with them. So we want to make sure we get that, we're trying to get that clean air swapped out. That's pretty good. Can't beat that view, though.
No.